Hey y'all, Spoken Grams here. Um, it's been a minute, but I got another one for you. This one I'm gonna deliver tonight is another pre-recorded one that I did on my tape recorder. Don't judge me. So I'm gonna do the best that I can to hear myself say it and deliver it to you guys visually. Again, this is a part of my process. The ones on my tape recorder are probably the best, not the best, but like I feel like it's vital information that you guys need to know. So, well, that vital information that I'd like to share. What you do with this information is completely up to you. But this is about me and my journey. You already know. So, here we go. We are not responsible for other people's choices. So, as somebody who is a helper and have been like given the gift of helping or like service, I think it's more so service. I like that better. Service. I've been given the gift of service because I have. Every job that I've had has been some type of service. Right off the bat. So my first job, I worked at Wegmans. And I always wanted to work at a cash register. I always wanted to go like ding, ding. I always wanted to scan stuff. I'm childish. I don't know what's wrong with me, my brain. But I always wanted to scan stuff. So my first job was Wegmans. But I actually had two jobs. I always say that. So, when I was 15, I had two jobs. Because it's true. I was 15, I literally had two jobs. But I did the Mini Police Academy, and I worked at Wegmans. First job, service. Second job, movie theater, service. My third job, I used to call people for donations in Oswego for money, and I hated it. Like, it paid my bills, but I hated it. And that was not a service, mind you. Mind you, all these other jobs I love. And I only hated Wegmans because I had to stay in for a long period of time. But like, ding, ding, that was my joint. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. So my fourth job, technically, I worked at Elmcrest. Service. After I left Elmcrest, I went to Hillside. Service. I went to FSSS. Service. Mind you, I loved all of these jobs. I only went from one job to the next because the next job paid more than the last job. So, and each job I went to built on the other one. This is not why I got on, but this is what kind of want to explain. Need to give you a little background information about me and service so that my point will make sense. So yeah, just roll with me. So serving is my thing, and as somebody who serves, sometimes I get caught up feeling responsible for other people's choices. I just had a conversation with my younger sister, and she had some students that got caught up in some stuff, and she was like, I feel responsible. And I'm like, why do you feel responsible for a choice that somebody else made? There's nothing that we can do about it, like at all. There's nothing that we can do. All we can do is pray for them. Honestly, that's all we can do is pray for them, give it to God, and direct them to God. Like, that's it. And I don't know why we do this. Like, why do we feel responsible? People of like service or like a certain level of like, I feel like everybody don't do this, but like if you got that servant spirit, like spirit, you start to feel responsible. And then like now we have all of these burdens on all of these other people on us because we feel like it's our job to fix their situation. I gotta fix it. And that's me. Like, I'm a fixer. I have to fix everything. I have to fix it. But it's not up to us to do it. Like, what our job is? Our job is to follow God. He's gonna lead us to be the example. With us being the example, we're going to encourage them to see God. They're going to want to based on our example. So if we're trusting God, we're in his will, we're doing what he tells us to do, we're the light of the world, we're the salt of the world, we're salt of the earth. They're going to see that and they're going to be like, let me get that. And that's all he wants us to do. That's it. We don't have to fix that person's problem. We have to trust God that he's going to fix that person's problem. And believe and be thankful for the fact that you're even in that person's presence to be able to bring God into their presence. Ain't that dope? Like, if it wasn't for you, Like, you might be their only encounter. Like, I remember, I haven't thought about this in a while. I remember learning when I was younger. I don't know what Bible verse is associated with this. Please don't judge me. But God's not going to come back until every person has had the opportunity to accept him as their personal savior. So everybody's going to have that chance. And sometimes we are the vessel that God uses for somebody else to see him. That's why we have to constantly stay in tune to him and be obedient, because it's like there's a reason why he's telling us to do what he's telling us to do. We just have to be like, okay, let me open my ears up, hear him out, because he's going to do it, and it's going to come in weird ways. Like, it's not going to come in a voice like, Nara, do this. It's not a direct voice. You're just going to know. Like, I need to be doing this right now. I should be doing this right now. I shouldn't do that. I probably shouldn't send that. Should I be clicking on this right now? Do I need to be eating this? I know he's not good for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they call them red flags sometimes. But that's not how it's going to flow, because a red flag in the world is different from a red flag in the Lord. And that's what we have to learn to decipher. And we do that through continuing to seek him, being in the word, which I'm learning to try to do myself. I'm really trying to get up in this thing for real. Like, I'll be trying to, so I can really know it for myself, so that in those moments, like, you know how, like, they be like, you got to know him for yourself. No, you really have to know him for yourself. Like, your mom can know every Bible verse in the world, but if you don't know it yourself, it means nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. You have to know. You have to build your own relationship, just like you got to build your own friendships. You got to build your own, like, once you leave your parents, you have to, like, build your own stuff. Like, after 18, typically, you're an adult. Period. So now, you're on your own. You're doing your own thing. Like, and it's funny, there's no more, I said this to my little sister one time, like, there's no more playbook. Like, there's no more blueprint after you turn 18. There's no rule book. When you're young, your parents tell you what you do. Do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. Whatever. Sometimes they explain it to you. Sometimes they don't. But you just do it. So you're used to doing what you're asked to do. Sometimes you find your own interest or whatever. You figure your own stuff out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you do what you're asked to do. But then, all of a sudden, all of the choices belong to you. It's all up to you. All of the choices belong to you. You have to now build. Now you're building. You're building your career. You're building your relationships. You're building your finances. You're building your house. You're building your wardrobe. I don't know. Like, you're building your own stuff. It's the same way with our walk with God. You got to build your own stuff, bro. You can't lean on somebody else's building. You got to build your own stuff. I'm not exactly sure what that was, but that stemmed from the conversation that I had with my sister. Just feeling responsible for other people's behaviors, which is crazy. Like, I don't know why we do that, but it's something that we do. We feel responsible. And it's not because, you feel responsible because you want to help. And you have the ability to help. You know what I'm saying? But it's not our job. It's not our job. It's understandable, but it's not your responsibility. Who are you? Who are you? Yeah, you cool and all, but like, who are you? Compared to God? Who are you? He can see everything. Like, you can only see certain things. Like, you only know certain parts of the story. You don't know the big picture. And that's exactly why we got to lean on him. He can see it all. You only can see a part of it. That's why we have to give it to him. He got the big picture. He give us doses. You get a little, because if he shows the whole thing, do we really need him? You know what I mean? Like, come on. But that's a short one. I just want to say again, Don't get caught up in trying to solve other people's problems. That's what we have the Lord for. We just have to trust and believe that He will take care of whatever their situation is. And trust that He will take care of whatever your situation is. All right? Spoken Grams out.
I'm just a nobody, trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody. He said, I'm just a nobody, trying to tell